There you
Do.
go.
Hello,
Right.
hello.
Hello.
I had to get my notes out because it's been a very long time since I read this book.
Yeah, I don't know if I wrote notes, did I?
Uh,
Or not.
You know how I used to, you
I'm a
know how I
note
like to
taker.
write notes? I actually didn't write notes while reading this book. I didn't write any notes while reading this book. So these are just like my afterthoughts,
Hmm.
which is weird. What are you reading right now?
I'm
Or
reading
what are
The
you
Beast.
not reading? What are you not reading right now?
It's taken me forever. I think I started it Sunday, but it's The Beast by Judith Ivory. It's a historical romance set in like 1905
Hmm,
kind of
it's a
thing.
weird
So
time frame.
yeah, I didn't realize it when I did, but they're on a ship. It's a little reminiscent. Their ship actually hits this little small iceberg, but they're fine.
Oh, their ship,
But
and
if
it's
he's
not
on
the
the
Titanic.
Yeah, she's engaged to him. She's on the ship on the way to France. So it's French. He speaks in like a French accent. I'm also listening to the audiobook, and so he deceives her. He's supposed to be on there. She doesn't know that it's him, so they have a little bit of an affair in the dark because the lights go out of the iceberg, and then and then they get married, and now he's got to compete with himself, I guess.
Mhm. Hmm,
So I'm about 70% in, so I'm almost done. Hi,
that sounds fun.
Becky.
Hello. I have also been slowly working my way through Brood and Magic by Jenna Wolfhart. It's kind of like a cozy fantasy romance.
Wait, what was the title?
Brood and Magic? It
Brood
just
and
came out
Magic.
in
Okay.
January. It's
Okay.
like a second book, but I never read the first book. I think the first book was like Forged in Magic, and it was like the female main character was an orc, and then he was an elf. Well, in this one, they're both elves, and they're going to like a yearly festival, and she's a traveling tavern owner, and then somebody steals all the ale.
That's that's
And
never
she thinks
cool.
it's him. She thinks it's him, but instead they team up to figure out who it is. It's um very sweet. Just
Like
not
a sweet,
normally.
like sweet kind of fantasy monster romance kind of thing.
Yeah,
A little
kind
bit.
of. Yeah. Low stakes, kind of cozy, which is kind of why I'm not like super loving it, I guess, but it's okay. It's fine. It's not bad.
Mhm.
It's cute, I guess.
It's a cutesy.
Yeah. But this book, Spark of the Everflame, do we want to start off by saying what we
Oh
rated it?
yes.
Okay, what did you rate it?
Um, I think I'm gonna rate it a 5. I actually had a lot of fun with it, so really enjoyed it. What about you?
Been waffling, but I think I'm settling it on a 4. I
Or
really loved it. Like I really loved it, and I immediately downloaded the second. So I'm ready to read the second one. Like I'm not that type of reader where I just want to dive into the second immediately, but I do.
hmm
Like this one I do. It was very
Yeah,
like intriguing enough and it gripped me. Like it really did.
and the cliffhanger was good too.
The
Yeah.
cliffhanger was really good, yeah. And I really like the whole setup of the story and the heroine and the prince with the shadow magic and the light magic. I love how he has both. And like you can kind
Yeah.
of see what's gonna happen the whole time, but like I was still intrigued. I like the politics.
Yeah, that was interesting. And like also just I want to say like the slow burn, slow build kind of thing. Because you know me.
Yeah.
I find, especially after with the Oaths of Crowds and Curses, I like it when the romance built. If there's going to be the same couple in the series, I like that the romance is like built upon each book.
Yeah. if it's gonna be the same couple throughout like 3 or 4 books, definitely like it's fine to be slow. And
Hmm.
that didn't bother me. I even liked that she wasn't with the main love interest in this. She was with her longtime friend, you know? I thought that
Yeah.
was kind of interesting, which like, did you know that they're not gonna be together at the end? Of course, right? Like, you could just tell that he's not in game.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I did like the fact that like it wasn't it's there's not it makes it seem like that for book two, but like that she thought that he was what she wanted, but like her friend, but like by the end that she's not really into him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Um, was he dark-haired? I
he
was just
he is he is, but she has blonde hair and she's dark skinned too as well. I think she's actually like a black character, brown
Oh.
POC character.
I
Yeah.
was just
No, I've
looking
seen
up the
the fan
characters,
art shows that. Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I missed that she had darker skin, but I don't always pay attention to that stuff. So
Yeah. I know she had like silvery kind of like.
I knew she had silver hair because that was mentioned several
Hmm.
times.
Hmm.
I love how this heroine, one of the things I loved about this heroine is like I feel like she was like wrestling with wanting to still be naive and like she kind of wanted to know more, but she also didn't want to know more. Like she struggled with that a lot. Like I don't know if you felt that way.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like almost like a coming of age story because she's realizing that, with her parents, she's reluctant to have to grow up, obviously. And there's certain things that like when there's bad things happening, having to confront like with the politics with against all the violence that's gone against the humans, it's waking up to that realization and that she can't just be complacent anymore. So I
Yeah.
think you're reluctant because you're like, it's war. No one wants
Mhm.
to do that. At the same
Mhm.
time, realizing that you're gonna have to grow up and
Yeah.
you just can't stand aside anymore.
The scene where he takes her to the house of the merchant and the little girl is sick. And then later what she finds out about that, like, that made me angry too. Like that made me
I
so
was
angry.
I felt so bad for those kids.
I know, right? They
Like,
didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. I'm not like a big fan of like gods and goddesses in books, but in this one, it made it so palatable. Where like these are like the children of gods, and they really just kind of grew up like this, and they grew up thinking that they're the powerful ones and that they're the ones in charge. So over the generations, while their power was always meant to help humans, it's kind of been like an elitism thing over years now, where they're like, no, the humans are below us, so like they need
'cause
to.
their power can't be diminished, but that was the whole point of their creation. Was
Exactly, and they've lost sight of that. Like, I just love
Yeah.
the history of that and, like,
Hmm.
how it was so set up in this book. Like, even though there was a lot of setup in this book, it didn't feel slow. It didn't I was definitely in it, like, the whole time and not really, like, racing through it either. Like, I was just, like, reading it.
Yeah, and the family, also not only like the her relationship with her friend to lover to like love interest to like I don't, it gave me feelings of Gale from Hunger Games a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, but also the family dynamics between her brother and her dad, which is really her stepdad, and then his involvement with his past involvement in the army, or I think it's the army, right? It's the
Yeah, he was like
gen-
he's a human
general or something. Yeah.
in as the God's general. Yeah, and what conflicts he has with that, which I feel like is a big theme of the whole book. It's like, what lengths will you go to enact change? Like, how far will you go? And we could see that the heroine has a limit. What's her name again? I forget her name.
Oh gosh,
I forget all the
Deanne?
her. DM.
DM. I think
Thank you.
Diem. I'm
Yeah,
like every
DM.
time I said it, I just felt like carpe diem almost over diem.
Yeah. But I love that because like her limit is she will not hurt a child for one. She will never
Hmm.
do that. And then as healer, she can't hurt anybody regardless of who they are. She took an oath and she stands by that no matter who they are, whether they're human or gods, but yet she's still pissed at the gods for what they've done to all the humans, you know. So I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like the whole it's also got a little bit of that mystery element because of her mom. Like no one she just disappeared and everyone's just like okay
Her
with it.
mom is not dead. Like, well, her mom is
We
not
know she's
dead.
not dead by the
Yeah,
end.
yeah, we know
Yeah. We
she's
know
not
she's not
dead.
dead by the end.
But like her mom has so many secrets. Like, and I
I
feel like there's so many secrets left to uncover that this book
know.
made me hungry to know them. Like it really did make me like want to start reading again because like Luther's got secrets and then her mom has secrets and like we haven't even tipped the scales of that yet.
Okay. Okay. Luther and her. This was just I loved a little bit like hate like because they're kind of basically enemies Silvers a little bit too,
Yeah.
but it's like the
Kinda,
hate,
kinda, yeah.
but like that whole like the what you call it the patting down
Oh yeah, the padding.
was so tension filled.
Yeah. I loved it. I love and I loved that he's the character that is like, "If you touch her again, I will rip your arms off." Like, I loved that. And
Oh,
he was
and she's
Penn.
just so obvious too. Like she's trying to be all like getting away with stuff, and she's not
Yeah.
very
I think
as
the
sly as she thinks.
yeah, but, like, the one thing that annoyed me about her is that she's always like, "I'm not looking at him. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that." You know, she's like total denial.
Trying trying to fight it.
Just total denial.
So yeah, that was gonna be my favorite. I think the other one I liked was that whole fire scene.
Oh,
That that
yes.
was really interesting. Even though
Where
it was
she
heartbreaking, it was just so
oh,
interesting.
she was going in the building and then she's slowly passing out and it was so good. And then yes.
Realizing the betrayal that she feels by the what's it called, the Guardians,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
trying to save this soldier, and then that premonition, I guess, that they both had at the same time.
Yeah, with them on the warfield on the
Battlefield.
battlefield,
Yeah,
yeah. Is
that
that
was
is
so
that
interesting.
I'm like, is that future
I
or is
don't
that
know.
past? Like
I know. Like, is this the future or past? What is this?
like I'm thinking future, but like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like it has to be future because I don't think there's been a war that they talked about before.
Or it
I
could
don't
be like a
remember.
past lives type thing.
It would be cool if it was past lives.
But he's a god, so he's been alive for thousands of years, right? So
Yeah,
maybe she's reincarnated. Maybe it's a reincarnation thing.
yeah. But that was my whole thing. Like, did they ever talk about like a previous war? Was there a big war? I think there was. There was like a rebellion or something at one point that her dad was in,
Yeah, and
like
that's
helping them
why the
fight
humans are
against.
like the way they are.
Were there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they don't want another rebellion, but the
yeah.
people are ready for a rebellion. I love a good rebellion.
I know.
I love a good rebellion just because it's so conflicting. Like clearly things need to happen. It's so bad. There's people starving in in the streets, you know. It's like something needs to happen. But then I was so
Yeah.
scared. I was like, don't hurt the children. They're just kids. No, they're
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
like when she goes,
Not only the. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
under the secret tunnel into the
Oh yeah.
castle, and then she gives away that secret.
Wait. What was that? Remind me.
Remember, like when something happens, like the roof caves in, and then the one of the brothers or whatever comes and is like, "God, come help the children," and then he sneaks them underneath the back wall or something like that in a tunnel and into the it's like a secret passageway into the castle. And then later on, when she gets
Yeah.
mad, right? She she gets mad because another god was going to kill a child, she
And
gives
she
that
tells
secret up to the
them.
guardians. Yeah. And I was
She's
like,
got when she
no.
joins. I think
Yeah.
that's when she decides she wants to join the Guardian. Yeah,
Yeah.
Guardians or whatever.
And then very quickly
Yeah,
realizes that she doesn't want to be in it. It's like a lot
yeah,
of back and forth, you know, like not wanting to be one way, but then like trying it and then regretting it and then doing something else. And like it felt very realistic of like just making hard choices, like at some point you have to make it. And for good or
yeah.
for
Like it's
bad,
not
this
gonna
is what it
be.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like it's like the fact that like realizing the Guardians aren't going. It's going to be war. They're not going to be making innocent. They're going to be harming innocents just as much as the other side. So it's like, how right are they then? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, and that's what
Mhm.
she's battling with.
Like what's the good side? What's the bad side? But the answer is neither.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or both, I mean, it just depends. Perspective. Gosh, this book was so good. It was
it
really
was.
good. It was really good. And I have a feeling that they're gonna get better. Like that's kind of why I was like, for an opener, this was really good.
Yeah, and I think that's also when people like, because I like to read the descriptions for the author before, just so I understand what to expect.
Hmm.
And like seeing that it's a slow burn, that it's not going to be book one, which I'm like, okay, for me that's a plus. So I'm like, great, because
I'm fine.
I
To
love that.
me, there's enough tension, right, between
Hmm.
Luther and DM in this book that it's like the Crown of Oaths and Curses. There is no romance in that, but there is tension. They are
Hmm.
fighting it the entire time, and it's enough. It's honestly enough for a
Yeah.
first book.
Yes,
Yeah, I loved
definitely.
it. I loved it.
Was there anything that didn't work for you?
I think just when like DM's being very naive about things like and her complete denial of her feelings and then her brashness, just rushing off into things without thinking about it, which she mentions that's her personality. And I'm just
Well,
like,
she's
girl,
also young, so she's like learning her lesson.
she's also young. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like the heroine herself didn't always work for me, but I understood her motivations.
Yeah. I think I felt the same too. At times I could see how the heroine could be annoying, but
Hmm.
at the same time, to me,
You
as
understand
long as
why
they're
she's
not,
annoying. Yeah.
yeah, are you understanding why? And
Yeah.
like at the same time, it's like as long as you know that you can see the possibility of her growing as a character, and it's making and her actions are making sense to the character that the author has
Hmm.
built in that whole thing. It's not contradictory, and
Hmm.
so the to where it doesn't make sense and you're like, this is not enjoyable because she's just annoying and she's just making stupid decisions to make stupid decisions for
Right.
plot. So,
I
yeah.
don't think I don't think I wrote anything that I didn't like about the hero in this one. I love how he's annoyed by her most of the time. Like it's not really
He's,
enemies. It's just he's annoyed and he's a bit irritated by her. But he
yeah,
also is like, she's pretty.
yeah. It's like it's almost enemies to lover. They don't want to kill each other, at
Mm-mm.
least at this point. But
They're
it's more
just
of
on
like he's her enemy because of their class differences
yes,
and
they're just on
that
opposite sides.
they're other. They're
Yeah,
both consider each other other.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then I think, yeah, and it's really funny because like how he's just like she's intriguing because she's just
No one's
doesn't
ever talked to
he
her. It's another one
still
of those,
talks
no
back to
one's
him.
ever talked to me like that. No one's ever
Yeah,
done that to me, just we've seen this song and dance before.
I love it though.
I love it though. Like, so she's gonna do it more because she got away with it the first time, so she's gonna keep doing it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just one of those things. And then she keeps bringing weapons into the thing. Like, come on, girl, like, stop it.
Oh, and the women that can actually like her
Oh,
dad
we're
or
gonna
somebody gave
actually
it to
kill
her.
them. Yeah.
What was that knife that she got? Who gave that to her? I can't remember.
Her brother's friend, like, he was also, like, one of the guardians. he gave her a knife that could kill these gods or at least harm them because she almost
I didn't know if it was the friend love interest guy. What's his name?
I don't remember his name.
I can't remember. Yeah, but
The friend had a boring name, right? Like David or like a real life
my
boring
husband's
name.
name is David, so that's why.
Oh, no, no, no. You know what I mean? But that's just like a normal guy name. But you know what I mean? He had like a
Yeah,
normal guy name.
like
My
oh
husband's name is
gosh,
Nick. It's also a
like
boring
Chad
name.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I forget what
Oh
his
gosh,
name is.
that's gonna bother me. Is it out? Is it, no, that's not it.
We're talking for fantasy names. It's like boring. Like you, my husband's like, my name is not boring.
He's like, I'm feeling resentful of that.
He's like, April's boring.
You're
I
boring.
agree. It's not wrong.
I mean, my name is boring, so yeah.
I don't remember the guy's name now.
Is it Henry? Yeah, Henry.
It's Henry.
Yeah.
See, boring normal guy name. Like
Luther is the
Luther.
king name. Yeah.
Luther. King Luther. Oh Lord. So Henry was something. How did you feel about their scene together, Henry and DM, when they are when she sees the wolf?
Oh, that okay. So first off, the whole sexual thing was kind of nice to where the empowerment side of it, where it was just it wasn't like a patriarchal mentality about sexuality, that it was just like, hey, you're not a virgin, that's normal.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you mind that I'm not one or whatever like that. So
she's like, let's scratch this itch. Let's do it. He's like, yeah. Okay.
And I think it's also interesting because it plays on the fact that like that whole secret that's why she's taking that red powder medicine, whatever it is, to kind of squash her, what comes across as mental health problems. Like kind of like I don't know, I forget like what kind of would be comparable, but so that's why she doesn't believe when she's seen that what happened when she touched it, like it just turned into ash. She's like, I think I'm seeing things. Again, she's like freaking out, but she stopped taking it. She was mad that her mom like left. But then him confirming that no, he heard a wolf. That's why he woke up. So then she's like,
but then she's in
okay,
complete
what's going
denial
on?
about it.
Yeah. Because it's hard to know when you've been told that you've been crazy all your life, that you're probably thinking that, well, I'm just hallucinating. And then when you find out that's probably real.
Yeah, someone else
that's
needs to confirm it for you.
It's probably messing with her head, and she's still like, I don't want to believe that.
My dog. Crazy. Yeah. I love how she sees that red powder in a random shop and she's like, what is that? And they're like, oh, nobody can see that. She's like, I've been taking it my whole life.
That's just like, what are you? She's like, what? She's like, it's punishable by death if you have it or whatever. She's like, what in the heck is my mom into?
I wonder if
how is she getting it?
Right? I wonder if also she thought was like, oh dang, how much could I sold that for? I threw it all in the ocean. Because they're not rich.
They're doing well. Yeah. Well, if it's such contraband, you probably wouldn't be able to really, but.
There's a black market for everything. Come on. You can't tell me in that realm there's no black market. But yeah, I loved this. Let me see if I have any other notes.
What was she?
One thing I wrote was the slowly unfolding of DM's locked powers. It's, that's like been done so many times. But this story feels like an origin story for her. It feels like DM's origin story. So kind of like
Yeah.
a prologue.
Yeah, and then the whole ending makes me intrigued on what's happening for the next book, and like it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm like there's a whole new more world building that's possible. So it's just like that was such an interesting ending with her mom, and
Mm-hmm.
like that cut scene to her mom being where her mom is. So
Mm-hmm.
I found that really interesting.
Yeah.
So and it's weird that the political side is like whoever has the most powers. So that's why she's made that announcement of her being queen or whatever.
Let me shut this door because my dog.
But
Okay, sorry. So I'm gonna be starting book 2 soon.
I want to. I don't think I'll be able to start it next month. The final book releases in June, so I'm hoping to at least start the second one in April.
I did a TBR for once next month. And
Oh wow.
I did actually put it on a TBR. So I probably, but I mean, we all know how good I am at TBRs, so you never
I
know.
know. That's why I think I'm finally gonna do. I haven't done it on TBR, so this will be my first one this year.
I haven't either.
With everything going on.
I've literally just been reading whatever the heck I want. So
Yeah, I hadn't even done the reset, so I want to try to do a reset because that seems to be. I like that kind of format better. It seems kind of fun. But I'm like sticking. What I think I'm gonna do is to stick to 4 books when I talk about like that segment in my reset and be like,
mhm.
so like these are the ones I have to read.
Yeah, I think I picked.
But
I meant to pick
go
8,
ahead.
but I think I actually did 9, not including our book club books.
Yeah, see, I'm like, I just don't want to tie myself down. Only the ones that I know I need to read. I just feel like by the time that I get halfway through the month, my mind has changed to what I want to read.
That's the problem. I agree because like the first couple of weeks, I'm like, yeah, I just read 4 books. I'm good. I'm good. I'm getting on this TBR right now, and then I'm like, nope, done. So speaking of next month,
Hmm.
I know you gave me some options,
Yes.
but I'm gonna say you pick because I don't know any of
Okay.
those.
So, I haven't read them either, obviously. So, I think our next live is gonna be March 15th, which is a Friday.
Hmm.
So, I think I chose, and I know, for those watching, we are switching back and forth every other month to fantasy romance or historical romance. So,
Yeah.
next month's gonna be historical romance, and I think I'm gonna go with Wicked Intentions.
Okay.
That was with Hoyt.
Wicked Intentions. Let me see if I can find this book. I think I was looking them up to see like which ones I could get on like Everend or the library or something. Okay, I will have to find this book.
Okay. I find any place really good. If you can't find it, let me know and we can do oh gosh, this one. Beyond Scandal and Desire by Lorraine Heath.
Beyond
I think
Scandal
that was the
and
other top
Desire.
option I gave you. I know I gave you like 4.
You did. And
I
I
was like,
thought
I
I
don't know.
saw one of them.
This
Beyond
one.
Scandal and Desire.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, that one I do have on Everend, so I could listen.
I don't know. Becky has a historical she's reading. That's an arc. Which one is it,
Ooh.
Becky?
Yeah, which one?
Or can you not tell us? Or is it a secret? So which one
Um,
did you say? You
I'm
said this
just
one?
trying to see if I can find on Libby Wicked Intentions, and if not, we'll do that one.
Okay. Do, do.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm typing quickly.
No, you're fine.
Oh, I can place a hold on Wicked Intentions too. So, 2-week wait.
Breathe.
Well, I have time. I have time.
Yeah. like, oh, she said, I don't know, something with Hawk in the title.
Something with Hawk in the title. I'm trying to think of what that could be. I don't know.
Is it an indie or a traditionally published author?
I'm curious.
The only one I can think of is like Monica McCarthy has one that's Hawk, but that's Highlander, and that's definitely not Arc. But
I don't think I
yeah,
have any
I'm,
NetGalley historicals next month.
yeah,
I think
I'm bad with keeping up with that.
Yeah, I think I've read all mine. For once. I've read all mine for once. Well, all my like historicals anyways. Let me see. Oh, I have, yeah, my next ones aren't till June and July.
I have to read the Daniel L. Jensen new one. I have the Arc and I have it pre-ordered. So I'm getting the physical by next Wednesday. So I'm like,
I am also
gotta
getting
read
the
that
physical
too.
book. I am the Hawk Laird. Ooh. That sounds Highlander.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I have
Oh, I think I saw this one. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So hopefully I can get to that Arc.
Celtic.
Well, doesn't matter how I read it, but as long as so that way I need to get that review done too.
I'm just saying, I loved it, but you know, what are you gonna say?
I'm definitely gonna read it. I just
which one did you
reading it
get?
this time. Okay.
Did you just get the US version of the book?
Yeah, whatever the one with the silver edges, silver blue edges. So yeah, I think it's the US version.
Yeah, because I know Waterstones did one too, but I didn't get that one.
Yeah, I
I
think
just went with the US one.
It's this one.
Because that's the one I was like going back and forth. Which one do I want?
That one.
Yes, that's what I got too. I know. Jess sent me a picture of her fairy loot edition of that last night. I was so mad. I was like, what? No.
That's funny.
Darn fairy loot. Hate those book boxes. I want there to be a special edition of Crown of Oaths and Curses so bad.
Yes. I want a hardback of that so bad.
I'm mad because I do subscribe to Arcane Society and they did a special edition for that, but it's like for a special event, like an in-person event.
I hate that stuff.
Like, I just want a special edition of that book so bad. With the scepter on the side. Can you see like the scepter on the side of it?
Oh my god. That was really pretty. And that would drive me nuts because like I already don't like a large like public thing. I mean, reader, introvert, whatever. And like that would create even more craziness.
Yeah.
Is all those people trying to scramble to get their pre-order of that.
Yeah.
Special edition
I'm mad. But yeah, which one are we gonna do? Read Wicked Intentions or the other one?
Yeah, I think did you say which one did you want? You said you had more access to.
I have the Beyond Scandal right now, but Lorraine Heath has not been the greatest author for me. So I could end up not liking that one. You want to try it? I've never read it either.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to week wait.
Okay.
With the library.
Okay. Awesome.
So next month, Wicked Intentions by Elizabeth Hoyt.
And it's March 15th, 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. your time, Pacific.
Yep.
I always have to make sure I say
Pacific, not specific.
Pacific.
It's the specific Pacific. Are you in the what is it? The eclipse area?
I think I don't even know. When is that happening?
I have no idea. I didn't even know there was an eclipse happening, but my friend was like,
"Oh
yeah, they let school out for it." I'm like, what?
I haven't been. Is it happening tomorrow? Maybe I don't know. I haven't been out on like internet for a while. Coming straight home from work.
Like, is there a world out there?
I'm like, what's going on, y'all? I don't know what happened. Oh, okay.
All right. Do we have any final thoughts on Spark of the Everflame?
Mm, nope, but I know I mentioned on before we went live, but I'm like, okay, so if it's any indication, I really liked this first one, so I bought book 2 and 3. So and they're
They're
and they're
so
so chunky.
chunky.
They're
You know what?
heavy.
It was long, but it didn't take me that long to read it.
No, I read that in a day.
Did you really? I think I took like a couple
Me
days.
reading something in a
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
The
I don't
honest,
read things in a day. Like, I don't do it unless they're like short.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot of book in a day.
yeah. It's with me being able to see. I'm like, oh, it must be good. Like the fact that I like had so much fun reading it and read it so quickly, like I could not put it down.
It was so
So
enjoyable. I loved it. Yep. So we both
yeah,
love this book. We're adding it adding it to the top of the list. I really wrestled with giving it 5 stars.
I did too. But then I'm
Screw it.
thinking, what was my enjoyment level? So I'm like, I really enjoyed it, so it's a 5 star. So
Yeah, yeah.
it has the potential that I know that the first book has to build up with the other books. So hopefully just up from here. So
Mhm. Usually I'm just like, "Oh, okay, we'll just give it 5 stars." But no, like, no. Apparently I've turned a tide this year. I'm like, "No, it's a 4 star."
well, it's my only 5 star that I've had this year so far either.
I've only had
Everything has been like
1.
like 3, 4. I think maybe a couple fours, but everything has been like threes and twos and DNFs. It's just been
Mm. I've had
yeah.
a lot of 4s, but, only well, at 2. I've had 2 5 stars. The
Noise.
second one you don't know yet. Well, you might know, but I don't know.
Wait, okay.
You didn't read the book, I don't think.
Okay. I'm totally oblivious right now.
I'm being vague.
Very vague.
Um,
Okay.
you'll find out next week. All right, that's all I got.
Yeah. Thanks for the chat and those that joined us today and who's watching the replay. Just put like a
Yes.
hashtag replay and let us know that you're. If you wanted to comment something, let us know you're here.
Yeah. It's weird that I didn't have, like, a ton to say about this book, even though I loved it, but, like, I think I was just,
Yeah.
like, in it. I was just in it. I didn't stop to take notes or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes! Join us.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna hop off, here because it's dinner time.
Yep. Makes sense. All right. Well, thank you guys. I'll talk to you later.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.